So I finally finished editing the video, the review video, the colored pencil video that I have been working on for the past week or two. It has taken me a lot longer than I anticipated, but it's now done and it's now rendering. And it probably will be doing that for a good while right now. Just to give you an idea, this video is 42 minutes long. My average vlogs, which are around 10 minutes, take about an hour to render. Yeah, this might take a while. So I think one thing I don't like to do during the rendering process is to tamper with the computer in any way. So basically don't do any demanding tasks like streaming, watching videos, do any sort of other editing, because that will, if not interrupt, it will mess up the rendering process, producing all sorts of artifacts in the final video, and basically you can start from scratch if that happens. So that's why I don't like to do that. Also, don't laugh at my face. I got severely sunburned yesterday at Comic-Con. Forgot to put on sunblock, so that's why I look like a raccoon right now. We're at 7% right now, so yeah, it'll take a while. Alright, so a while ago I mentioned the wilting cacti everywhere, and this is the final result. So a couple of the branches completely detached, broke off. This one's wilting, and I think is about to break from right over here. That huge one broke and is lying back there. Pretty much the only one that survived this one right here, which does provide me with an opportunity to just grab the branches. I let them sit over here on the ground to callus over a little bit, because I can take those branches and basically plant them again. So, and since that's essentially what does happen in nature on its own, I'm not fretting over it. I'm just gonna maybe put them by that garden over there, or just come up with another place and just sticking them in the ground and they'll grow. I do need gloves though, because those spiky thorns and those little soft thorns on those just get underneath your skin, and it's a pain, literally a pain to get them out. So let me go get gloves. Alright, so I got my gloves. I'm gonna try to get the biggest one out of there. See if I'm gonna be able to do it. Yeah, it just lodged itself in the other branch. The weight of it and the fact that it was wilting didn't help. That's why it broke off. I was also on one of these, which is the one right here. These are incredibly easy to plant. I mean, basically same principle. It's actually kind of calloused over already, so I can just stick it in the ground and it'll grow. So it's been a few days since I planted all those cacti, when I was running around and just redistributing the branches, especially the ones from here. You can see this one's starting to spring back up, so that's a good sign. Also, last night it rained a little bit, which is always welcome here. It provided a nice break for everything that grows over here, especially the pepper plants, because those are just not producing pollen, let alone pods, when it's above 90 degrees for extended periods of time. So this one's starting to pod up. This is one of the peppers that I've been waiting for since last year. Last year was an exceptionally bad season. Everything got eaten up by aphids and all sorts of pests. So this one right here has produced some pretty nice pods. I already dried them up and ground them into a powder. So yeah, hopefully these lower temperatures will provide me with some pretty great pods so we can make some super hot stuff. And the citrus tree is doing pretty good. I mean, it's just loaded with lemons and tangelos and whatnot. The pomegranate tree over there in the background is almost ready for harvest. I started this garden pretty much with hot peppers, and that was my main focus a couple years back. But last year the season was pretty bad. My best growing season so far was the very first year. I had so many different varieties. I also lost a lot of plants. I just couldn't sustain. I had 100+ plants, and about half the seedlings that I had in a greenhouse and just lying around here just didn't make it. Couldn't sustain it. It was too big of an operation. So I have maybe 10 to 15 really established plants. About 7 of them need to be up potted, and those can be producing by the end of the season. Also, just experimentally, I put a watermelon back there behind the pool, so hopefully that'll get some nice. I'm expecting 1 or 2 nice watermelons, assuming I haven't had much luck with that lately. The biggest one that I've grown was about softball size, and it managed to rot or either split and rot. So not a very good track record when it comes to melons. Alright, so right now I gotta go to the Home Depot to get the soil so I can uppot the peppers, and I'll be back with it in a minute. Alright, so this is the soil that I'm going to be using. I used to use a different one. It used to be called Pearl Mix. The Home Depot discontinued it, so right now it's pretty much the same thing. It's called Sunshine Mix. And basically, fish fertilizer. That's what helps my peppers grow, and everything else for that matter, really. So these 2 components combined provide me with the best possible solution to grow the best food that I can. First I gotta find the pods. Alright. I got my bleach here first because the water's already hot in the hose, in the garden hose. I'm gonna take advantage of it and rinse the buckets and rinse them off of all the loose debris, and then I'm gonna, with light bleach solution, it doesn't have to be very strong, just a few drops, I'm gonna give it a nice wipe That way I make sure that all the buckets are sanitized and safe to use for peppers, and we'll go from there. Alright, that's that part.